Welcome to the Chilling with c.bo podcast. I'm your host, c.bo, and yeah, we got a full house today. We got my usual co-host, Juan. How you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Having to adjust on the fly, and my chair that I was sitting on. So it was missing a wheel yesterday. What happened was like the wheel kind of like it cracked off. I don't. I think it couldn't handle some of the weight I was putting onto it, so it cracked off. And then my brother and I tried to put super glue on it to try to fix it. That didn't work. And what then happened was that I was sitting on a four-wheel chair, and when I sat down on it, one of the remaining legs snapped in half. So now my five-legged chair turned to a four-legged chair, and now it's a three-legged chair that has no hope of being fixed.
But you,
Jesus.
That's what happened to my last chair.
well, I mean, you could prop the legs in such a way so that you could balance on three legs, right?
Well, not with this. Imagine a chair with wheels,
Uh-huh.
and it's in the shape of a star.
Uh-huh.
So, with that being said,
Uh-huh.
in the star chair, one leg goes out, so there's four legs remaining. And then another leg goes out, and there's three remaining, and they're all like in
Is it two legs on the same side?
Yes.
all three legs on the same side.
Ah, no, okay, never mind then.
Yeah, so it's gonna be I'm not as balanced as a ballerina, so I'm not able to maintain that chair in that capacity. But RIP to a good chair. It looked great in a lot of the videos that I shot for my promotional Instagram page at Juan Pablo Guadin Camargo. And shameless plug right there. I'm gonna miss that chair, but I think I might have to consider just getting a wheel chair, just like a straight leg chair,
Mm-hmm.
So, are you holding it a laugh, Jack? I can hear it.
I was holding in a yawn actually.
See, not that good of a story.
So
Oh
that-
shit. No, I yawned because I'm tired. It's not from the story. It's okay. For those of you wondering, it is 12:30-ish. I normally have coffee by this point in the day, and I haven't. So my brain is slowly trying to catch up.
Ketchup.
Mustard?
Yeah.
What is the beginning of this podcast?
Pedro, how you doing, man?
Doing well. Started my first week of classes, and I've never felt more productive.
Nice.
Hooey.
Go Pedro.
I finally understand how arithmetic and geometric sequencing works, but I'm still trying to figure out how the hell do I do deductive and inductive reasoning. That shit is hard.
I'm so glad I'm far removed from that now.
I was gonna say, why don't we talk about deductive and inductive reasoning? But I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie,
We started
no
with
coffee
abductive
brain does not
reasoning.
know it.
I really don't need that kind of vibe right now. That's like my sophomore year of college kind of level stuff, and I really don't want a flashback.
Listen, every day is a day to learn something new.
Yeah.
But I'm not prepared to flashback right now. Leave a message after the damn beep.
Beep.
Whoa, there's a lot of beeps there. I
Yeah.
don't know which one to go off of.
after the fourth beep.
So, Jack, you know about all those abductive, inductive reasoning stuff?
I haven't had to do any of. Same with everyone else. Have not had to do it in a very long time.
Apparently, that's for teachers and lawyers to figure out.
Wow, that's crazy. You know what? Teachers need more money. Hot
Yeah.
take. Hot take.
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah take.
Shalom alaikum.
Now we don't need to introduce me because I've already have been talking for.
How you been though? You been good?
I've been tired. I've been tired.
Not coffee brain Jack.
Aside from this morning, I've been a very tired lad, and I need to. I started the new year off right, and then I lost my energy, and now I gotta reaccumulate my energy. Get my ish together. I don't want to slack off this year.
None of us do. We got you.
Mm-hmm.
Ow.
Ow.
All right, so we chose to watch a movie this week from Netflix. It was the movie called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and it is a movie about a studio session, just people hashing it out in a studio session, and it's taken to the most extreme thing. And yeah, it's set in 1927 Chicago, and it stars Viola Davis as the legendary jazz musician Ma Rainey and Chadwick Boseman in his final film performance that many people are buzzing about right now. And so I guess I'll start off with Jack. Me and Jack were talking about this before you guys came in. So Jack, what did you think about Ma Rainey's Black Bottom?
Yeah, no, we were talking about it for a bit because I was telling c.bo a little while ago we watched Les Mis, and we all love Les Mis. But one of the things we were talking about in that episode was how certain mediums or certain stories only work in certain mediums, and the belief that sometimes it's not worth adapting things if they're not going to be done correctly. And for this movie in particular, I'm willing to say that I was wrong, or this is at least an exception to my rule of if it's one thing, maybe it should stay that thing. Because I thought this whole time throughout this movie, it had that feeling of it had the feeling of a theater show throughout the movie, like the cinematography
The
and the
monologues.
character performances, even the monologues, just the tone of the movie, and how it's the conflict is just characters going on personal, I guess, their journeys. It's more so like that you just see them kind of evolve throughout the as the session goes on, and you get it kind of lives inside its own world a little bit, because there's things that the characters do that don't really make sense in like they make sense in a Broadway kind of way. Like uh, they'll start humming and singing, and like it'll feel like kind of out of place, but all the dialogue feels like a Broadway show. And the oh my goodness, come on, coffee brain, wake up. uh the cinematography doesn't distract you from the character performances, which are the main thing about this movie, and it's so refreshing to see. And it made me miss going to a show and like seeing this, because I want to now see this performed live, like on stage with the sets. And that's the other thing I was trying to remember because of coffee brain, is the sets are very simple. There's maybe 3 or 4 scene locations that we ever see in the whole movie. And it has a lot of breaks where sometimes all the characters are together, and then suddenly something minor happens, and then everyone splits off, and then everyone has their own little vignette of action that's pertaining to their story. And it's just a wonderful time, and it's just kind of makes me nostalgic for going to see a real live show. And now it just makes me wish that I can do that. But I want more movies like this, I will say.
All right, Juan, what did you think of this movie?
After a lot of what Jack said is what I felt about this movie. It did give off a major theater vibe to what it was showing. The long monologues of each character, the limited sets, the set changes in between, the big floors and platforms that each scene had provided, whether it was in the rehearsal room, the studio, even the street was wide, and that's like it felt like it was coming out from an actual play. And that's because this is based on an actual play written in 1982 by Augustus Wilson. What I loved about this movie so much was it was from a review that I read about the makeup and the portrayal of the characters. So like, you know how most era movies like these kind of portray these characters as like, beautiful and bright colored and like spanky and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
This one made the effort to show that it not everyone looked like that, especially colored people weren't able to look like that, because a lot of the beauty products and men's grooming products were specifically made for white people in mind, whereas black people had to kind of adjust adjust the products to fit their skin types, their hair types, everything. um and they did a great job of doing that, especially with Viola Davis's Ma Rainey. The exaggerated black eyeshadow, the big red lipstick that you see her wearing, the overabundance of blush just to try to seem a little bit more.
Yeah, I had to do a little double take. I'm like, oh yeah, it's Viola Davis. Oh crap.
And and maintain to the not only to the realism of the piece, but also it kind of shows of what the whole movie was about. And it was about highlighting not only the struggle of being a musician in an everyday age, but the struggle of being a musician of color in that era, especially when you're recording in a studio that's owned primarily by
White people.
by white people. Yeah. And what I loved the most was kind of the compare and contrast to the same goal that both Ma Rainey, which is played by Viola Davis, and Levy, which is played by Chadwick Boseman, the late Chadwick Boseman, what they were trying to accomplish. Both wanted to make their imprint and their legacy in music. Ma Rainey was trying to maintain her control and agency as a Southern musician, which is what white people, especially up in the North, wanted. Like she gave a style and a sound that was limited. How I say this, that was only found specifically with her, and she made sure that she got everything that she wanted from the people that were trying to get what they wanted out of her, which was her voice, her musical style that they wouldn't be able to find with anyone else. She made sure to use every bit of leverage to the advantage to not only show that she had her own agency, but that she deserved respect for the talent that she was providing. Levy, on the other hand, he felt like he had suffered so much through his life that the white man had been pushing him into suffering so much, from his mom being, attacked by a gang of white men, to his dad being hung and set on fire in a forest. And now he's thinking, okay, now I can do what my dad did and kind of, use the white man to get on top and show them that I can be up here. But instead, he ended up getting screwed over in a similar way that his dad got screwed over by the white guy. He appeased the white guy, gave him his land, and left. In this case, he appeased the studio producer Sturdent. Sturdent, I think his name was.
Yeah.
See, he appeased Sturdent, gave him the music, and he was robbed of his opportunity. Except, Levy's dad was robbed of his integrity and of his land, and Levy was robbed of his original music that he wasn't allowed to play because the producer Sturdent wanted it to be produced by a white band.
Yeah, and at the end we see that, and you're like, ouch.
Yeah, it really hurt to see that happen.
And guess what? He only got paid $5 for that.
Relative $5 per song.
But still, though, it's like.
But it's kind of also a reflection of what's happening in the music industry today. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Taylor Swift controversy that happened, because Taylor doesn't own the masters to her recording. Some guy named
Scooter Braun.
Scooter Braun owns the masters, and he can profit from every stream that those masters make. But unlike Levy back then, Taylor Swift has the agency, has the power, and has the voice to recreate her own music and regain control over what was once hers.
Yeah, because her current old albums on Spotify are those versions that he controls, and she's trying to re-record them, so she has control over them.
Exactly, and Levy doesn't have that option. So, like, for him, it's basically just he got screwed over in so many different ways that he thought. I kind of came up with this last night. He thought that he had already paid his dues and his debts to suffering. He thought that he no longer had to, get thrown down in the dirt and dragged along in the mud. But the thing about paying your dues to suffering is suffering doesn't know when enough is enough, and that it will always try to take more out of you, because you will never ever be able to pay your debt to suffering, and it'll always be like that.
Pedro, what do you think, man?
I'm gonna be honest with you. This movie was hard to watch. Like it was hard to watch in that it was powerful and it was also damning.
Yeah.
Of white suppression. And oh my god, for one thing, I just want to point out Ma Rainey, she looked like a porcelain doll with all that makeup on. So it kind of made me feel like, she was made to look like that to show that to white people she was just an object of entertainment or instead of an actual person. The heavy makeup to make her look shiny and unique, but only to white people who want to use her musical gifts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then with Levy, it's heartbreaking. This is someone who has so much ambition, who is pursuing the American dream itself to make his own. He's trying to pursue the promise that was made to all black people after slavery that they could have a stake in America, and being denied that stake just because he's black. And after so much hardship, but even with all that hardship transformed him into a kind of opportunistic. Well, I don't know how to say it. It's he became very opportunistic. Like when he slept with Ma Rainey's girlfriend, just because she thought it was cute. It was also kind of like a display of dominance on his part against Ma Rainey, saying that he can be just as big as she is. He can be just as successful. So why can't I have this girl too? And then to see his character deteriorate after realizing all of that bravado is for nothing. It's just wow. It's just to make people go to see people go that low, and it's because they were denied opportunities for the color of their skin. It's heartbreaking, heart-wrenching, and overall, it makes me feel sad and guilty that there are people out there that are still being denied opportunity like this just because of the color of their skin or because of where they come from.
Yeah.
Social injustice is still a huge problem today.
Yeah.
And to see it shown like that, I don't know why, but it hurts me.
And this was almost 100 years ago. We're in 2021 now, and that was 1927.
Nothing's changed.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous that nothing's changed.
Yeah.
I just, oh my god, that's as much as I can say about this movie without going into a rant.
Yeah. You guys all brought up really valid points. I pretty much agree with all you guys. So I guess I'll just go into it. Yeah, the two main performances that people will be talking about are Viola Davis and Chadwick Boseman. Viola Davis as Ma Rainey, she how do I say? She transformed into her. When you saw the picture at the end, you're like, oh my god, it really recreated her really well. Oh my god, like the makeup, the way they put like some stuff on her face, like too, and like the way she like moved around and sang. I'm like, god damn, this is amazing. The makeup and stuff I'm sure I'll get nominated for best makeup and stuff like that in the Oscars. And then we go to Chadwick Boseman, who every scene he's in, he lights up the room, and every dialogue he's given, you're paying attention and you want to hear what he's saying next. And he's either this charismatic dude that you want to be friends with, or this man full of so much anger and soul, and you just want to be like, and you don't know how to sympathize with him because you can't imagine what he's been through, because no one can. And it's just, yeah, Chadwick was sensational in this movie, and I think he makes a good case for him to get an Oscar posthumously.
If he doesn't win an Oscar, I will sue the Academy.
Well, me and Juan saw this movie earlier in the year, The Five Bloods, and the guy in The Five Bloods also has a great case for Best Actor. So if it isn't either Chadwick or Delroy, then yeah.
I'd give it to Chadwick, to be honest.
All right. What'd you guys think of Chadwick in this movie, or Viola Davis?
I didn't know that was Viola Davis.
Yeah.
That's, yeah, I really didn't even recognize her. I thought this was just I thought it was another person. So I think that definitely speaks for itself. I don't know what else to really add to that. And I thought I tried to explain it in when I was talking about it before, but yeah, I loved all of the character. Everyone in this movie, I feel like, knocked it out of the park. His name, what was his name? Chester. I'm trying to remember the other band people's names. Slow
Lester.
Something.
Toledo. Cutler.
Cutler.
It was all right. Slow Drag, Cutler, Toledo.
Slow Drag.
Yeah.
Sylvester and
Yeah,
Bunny.
Sylvester. Oh God.
Toledo killed me. Like I felt like he definitely hits like a very common theater character where he's just a reflection of the past, and when he has his monologue of he's like lightly playing the piano and he's basically talking about injustice, and he uses an analogy about making a stew and talking about how black people, like people of color, are the leftovers. That
Oh yeah.
fucking that hit me in a way I wasn't, not in a way that I guess it would be in a way that I wasn't expecting, because I knew I was gonna feel sorrow about it, but I think it was because of how he decided to describe it, like using the stew analogy, surprised me. And like, oh wow, like this still works, like it still carries the message across, even though it's an unconventional means of describing like the current climate. And another thing that I just wanted to point out, I'm very glad that they chose to keep the monologues as monologues and didn't do the movie thing where they just cut to flashbacks or anything like that. Like the only time they really did that was for transitions between scenes, which felt organic, and for the one time when Toledo has his scene only to showcase people of color in the city of Chicago. And I'm very glad that they chose those moments in particular to decide to cut away from this movie, because they made the most sense. If I make any sense.
Yeah. No, what you're saying is valid.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still. Oh God, I know I've said it like 8 times, but I'm trying really hard to focus. My brain's just like, let's go to sleep. No, brain.
Juan, what do you think of the performances in this movie?
Oh man. You know, all credit to Chadwick Boseman for what he did and what he was able to accomplish, even fighting through the cancer that he was dying from. It was really like, I'd never seen so much power and so much enthusiasm out of someone who has endured so much suffering, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, all credit to Viola Davis for bringing to life. So a figure in Black and music history that is very underrated. I don't believe a lot of people even remembered who Ma Rainey was until this came out. I didn't even know who she was, and now I'm glad that I know. But I honestly, I would have to say that my favorite performance out of all the ones here was Toledo. Toledo, I think, gave a beautiful, beautiful performance of someone who's experienced the worst that life can throw at you and still try to take it to the chin and fight through, you know? With Livy, he feels like he's owed something. He feels like he's owed, so much more than anyone else because of the suffering he's endured. With Ma Rainey, she's just taking what she wants and damned anyone that gets in her way. That's the attitude. And that's great. But Toledo, he's showing what true experience and battle scars can do to someone who's strong enough to take it and come out the other side a lot better than what they once were. I mean, remember he was telling his story about how his wife left him because he was quote unquote a heathen? I don't think that was the case. Like in reality, I think she just cheated on him at the church and left him and used religion as the reason to leave. In my opinion, I think that's what happened. But he still won't say a bad word about her, and he will still try to fight to get people, to get Black people in general to fight for a better quality of life, not to just enjoy yourself and have parties and bask in the fruitful youth, but to try to fight for change and to try and start something, and it's kind of the attitude that a lot of young people are now taking today. The Black Lives Matter movement, the ACLU, everyone fighting to try to institute change for future generations to have a chance. And I like that it was someone from the old generation that was pushing the narrative because he knows his time is up, but that him and everyone around him can do so much better for the future. And then when Levy killed him, it was kind of a representation that just like optimism and hope, it can die so much quickly by someone who is just so traumatized by hatred and despair.
Pedro, what did you think of all the performances? What was your favorite in the movie?
My favorite in the movie. Definitely Viola Davis's Ma Rainey. She showed such strength and dominance in her character against people who'd want to oppress her and control her. Like this is a strength of character that you don't often see in movies that you, or rather that you do, but it's in the wrong person that you want to see it in. To see someone who knows what she has and knows what they want from her, and to use it to control them like that. It was just it made me feel so happy, Then I also saw the 30-minute behind the scenes thing about Ma Rainey, and Viola Davis described how she transformed and basically wanted to express every part of Ma Rainey in her performance, her pain as well as her joy, her anger as well as her sadness and happiness. Like she wanted to literally transform into Ma Rainey and bring her back to the 21st century. And the tent scene in particular showed how all that came to life through her. It was just amazing. She was amazing. Simply.
So, do you guys think we can see a Best Actor, Best Actress win from this movie?
Definitely.
At least a nomination of some kind.
Well, everyone's saying that Chadwick's definitely getting nominated. He might actually win, and Viola is definitely getting a nomination as well. So we'll see what happens. Juan, you're muted.
Fingers.
I think to cap off Chadwick Boseman's legacy as an actor and a contribution to black arts, I think, to win the Oscar posthumously would be ideal, but I want him to win because of the merit of his performance, not because it would make a great narrative and storyline,
Yeah, definitely. I
So-
agree with that too.
I want to like as much as I want in my heart for him to win, I hope it's a fair fight.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So we have anything else left to say about this movie, or?
I mean, I feel like I've said my piece.
Great
movie.
Did you know that Whoopi Goldberg was actually Ma Rainey in the revival in 2003?
Did not know that.
Imagine. I think I could.
Whoopi Goldberg's a good actress.
Yeah, I know. I wish
Yeah.
I could have seen it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So Jack,
I guess this, like Jack said, this makes me miss plays, in Broadway.
completely agree. Oh man, can't wait to go back to Broadway if it ever opens up. Man, when it opens up.
I am Javette. I am Javette.
Oh my god.
Can you hear the people singing the songs of angry men? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
Like Jack said, we all love them as.
I know, it's just such a good movie, right, guys? It's just like,
Totes.
the act-
You know what's an even better movie? Arthur something. I can't remember. It was
Jesus
so
Christ,
bad.
you're so bad at remembering the
Artemis
name
Fowl?
of freaking Artemis Fowl. It's not hard,
But it's that bad.
but it's so easy to remember.
I hope
Why is
Artemis
it
Fowl
that
wins Best Picture.
bad?
I hope Artemis Fowl wins Best Picture.
I
I hope it wins
the
the
movie's phenomenal.
Razzie for Worst Picture.
Oh man, I still can't believe that movie felt like 3 hours and 40 minutes, not an hour and 40 minutes.
Don't remind me. Oh, guys, I wanted to make the. Oh wait, actually, I'll make the announcement later in the show.
So okay, so what are we to watch for next week?
I guess this is a better time as any. Well, so we've been watching a lot. We've been watching a lot of like drama and Academy acclaimed pictures and everything. I kind of want to see something over the top, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
And I was
Well-
thinking, I was kind of looking back at like over the top pictures, like Clash of the Titans and that kind of stuff. And I arrived to this one movie that was kind of like, it's like religion mixed with action. Exodus with Christian Bale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I remember
What's it available on?
Better, do you know?
I'm looking.
But
You know what I really want to see that's in that similar vein? Gods of Egypt with Gerard Butler.
oh my gosh.
I love Gerard Butler, and I actually heard like people actually like this movie now because of a more of a guilty pleasure type of thing.
I think like what I kind of want to see Moses kick ass before I see whatever Gerard Butler plays. And also I just want to see Christian Bale just be so over the top. I want to see him pull what's his name? I want to see him pull a Nick Cage-esque performance, which is what I think Exodus kind of shows.
It's not available. It's only it's not really available anywhere.
Anything, Pedro?
Hold on, I'm looking. I checked Netflix. I checked Amazon Prime. Now I'm checking Hulu.
Hold on, let me check if Gods of Egypt is available anywhere. No, it's not. So we're both out on Egypt movies.
We'll say that.
Dang it.
Well, unless you want to watch Prince of Egypt on Hulu, but I don't want to watch
I
that.
like that movie. This is a good movie.
It's not. I don't want to.
You want to watch Prince of
I'll watch it.
Egypt?
I'll watch it for Easter.
I like that movie. That's a dream. People don't even know that's DreamWorks. That's one of their OG movies. Like,
I know there's no fault with it, but like I don't want any like hoity-toity, haha, like feel good kind of movie. I want action packed. I want over the top performances. I want over dramatic acting.
all right, so let's look at Netflix. All right. I think. Oh, wait. Hopefully this movie's still on here. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let's see. Yes. All right. Are you guys down for Hurricane Heist?
What's that?
Stop. No, I don't want to watch Hurricane Heist.
Yes.
No.
Well, actually,
Oh,
They
stop.
they got
It's
they
like,
got
Dad,
they got
it's
around
just
600
it's
million in a hurricane going on in Mississippi.
it's
It's on
bad.
Netflix.
It's Fast and the Furious, but if they made it, if okay, so imagine Fast and the Furious, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now
First of
imagine
all,
if
I love Fast and the Furious.
now imagine if
So
they made if the first movie never existed, and instead of creating Fast and Furious back in 2000 whatever, they decided to make it like 2 years ago or a year ago, and they instead of making the first one, they made the fifth one.
I'm down for Hurricane Heist if you guys are down.
actually, I have a movie in mind. Another one. If Exodus couldn't work, but I'm looking for it now. It's The Day After Tomorrow.
I've seen that plenty of times.
It's still good.
I love it, but you know, I kind of
Well,
want to see a movie we're all of us going in blind to.
here, you know what? I'll watch Hurricane Heist. I'm not gonna be happy about it, but I'll freaking watch it if that's what everyone wants to watch.
Where is it available?
Netflix.
Netflix.
Hurricane what?
Hurricane Heist.
You're the worst, dude.
A deadly
Like-
hurricane with Who's in this? Oh my
Toby
god. This looks absolutely awful and I'm excited for it. I want to watch this.
I may
Also,
skip
you
it.
guys are mean. This looks amazing.
You guys are mean. What are you talking about? Are we talking about the same movie here?
I like movies like this, man. I like
like-
cheesy action movies.
All right.
You guys are mean. What are you talking about? So okay, Hurricane Heist it is.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Now this is a movie. Like this is film.
You are absolutely ridiculous.
But I thought we all had to go in blind for this. How the heck do you know so much about it, man?
I haven't seen it, but I've seen like trailers when it was first coming out. I'm like, damn, I gotta see this, and I still haven't seen it yet. But now we have the
Damn.
opportunity.
This guy changed my life.
Blame Juan. He said he wanted a ridiculous action movie. I'm like, all right, I haven't seen this one. Let's do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I troubling you, Mr. Jack?
No. But you also realize, having just looked at it for a hot second, you realize, oh, this movie.
And I'm still down for it. That's how good.
Jack, you need a ridiculous action movie once in a while.
I guess.
I mean, it's like a palate cleanser.
Now I'm with Jack here. This ain't a palate cleanser. This is more like eating a spicy hot pepper and throwing it up afterwards.
That's to Jack and to Pedro. That sounds like a you problem. So we're just gonna roll with this guy.
All right, fine.
You know what I'll
All
do?
right, fine,
Here's the
fine,
thing.
fine, fine.
Here's
When
what
we
I'll
watch
do. I'll
Hurricane
pull
Heist,
you,
we'll go
and
back to something more
I'll
serious.
say I'll watch the movie, and I won't watch the movie.
Okay, that's fine by me. But this will be like your one time. Everyone gets one.
Everybody. Oh, and so I get to use it for Hurricane Heist? I don't know,
Yeah.
man. We have no idea what's coming in the future.
Again, that sounds like a you problem. So you can deal with that.
Okay.
Wait, Juan, did you get your Amazon stuff figured out?
No, not yet. We're still dealing with it.
Okay, because if you do figure it out, maybe afterwards we can watch the One Night in Miami.
That
So-
I'm excited for, but until we can figure out, like, I'll update y'all once we get it running and going. But for right now, just consider it defunct.
All right, we will watch it though soon.
Oh yeah,
Also, Pablo,
yeah.
next time we watch the movie together, not separate, because it's hard to watch separate.
No, it's not.
Well, for me it is. I can't. It's just, yeah.
I'll say it.
Well, this
What's
movie's
it-
like an hour 40, so it's not long. So yeah.
I'll say it. I've said it like two times already. Now my third time. Pedro, sounds like a you problem, so you can deal with it.
Yeah, but dude, it was hard enough to watch Rainey because it was so powerful. But this movie, Hurricane. This is a horrible movie.
You haven't seen it yet. You can't jump to the conclusion.
Sharknado, only before the sharks.
This is amazing. This is cinema. This.
This is cinema.
You're trying so hard to defend this. It's a staple to how.
I love movies like these. I really do. Like Yeah, I
We
like my
need a-
dramatic movies, but
We
like,
need
you
a
know,
break from the drama. We need a break from the comedy. I just want to see shit get blown up. Is that so wrong?
Watch Demolition Man if you want to watch shit blow up.
I'm not gonna watch Demolition Man. I think that has like a medical warning because it's all shot in first person.
no, that's Hardcore Henry.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I'd like to one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe
All
one day.
right, so I guess we're moving on to our next topic. We got a new president, guys. Joe Biden. So he got inaugurated on January 20th. Yeah. It seems Biden has been going to work. So I guess what I'm going to ask you guys is this: without bashing the previous 4 years, because everyone has bashed. Everyone has had something to say about the previous 4 years. What do you guys hope for in the next 4 years? What do you think? What do you hope that gets accomplished?
COVID disappearing.
What about you, Juan?
I'll let Jack roll first.
I hope. I don't know. I hope some shenanigans get sorted out. And it seems like in the past 3 days, a lot of shenanigans have been resolved. So that's really cool. At least 10 of the 30 things that Biden has decided to reverse since the previous president has been in office have been reversed. Sorry. So he's already reversed 10 of the 30 things that the previous president started. So that's a good thing, because there are huge issues here that needed to be resolved and set back into a state of repair. Now, granted, there is a whole heaping helping of stuff related to the coronavirus that hasn't been, I guess, discussed or at least executed yet, but there's a lot of stuff pertaining to the testing board for the coronavirus, the nation's collection, production, and sharing of analysis about the disease, requiring to wear masks in certain places and in transit, 100 days mask challenge. Whoa, I didn't know about that one. Asking Americans to wear a mask for 100 days requires mask and physical distancing in federal buildings and federal lands by government contracts. Huh. So there's a lot of like proposed things that are in place and will be in place. The $15 minimum wage thing was reversed, so that's good. But I'm so far, just by looking at all this stuff that's currently in the works, and it's only been a few days, and by a few days I mean 3 or maybe 4, depending on the podcast comes out. If it doesn't come out today, less than a week. It's been less than a week, and there's been a lot of fucking progress in terms of getting executive stuff done. So that's good by me. I feel like that's the way we got to keep going. Long-winded story shortened. That's where I feel like we need to go.
Juan, what about you? What are your hopes for the next 4 years?
I guess the biggest hope for the next 4 years for me is it's a long shot, but I want an end to bipartisanism. I want people to just stop thinking that everything has to be one way or the other. There is such thing as compromise. And with someone like Joe Biden in office, I do feel like that's possible, because Joe's been the kind of politician that knows how to play both sides and knows how to find equal footing. He's done it before, and I respect the hell out of him for it. And with that being said, I just want certain issues, especially with regards to climate change, to the imbalance in the economic structure that is the United States, and coronavirus care in general. I just want it to, I just want there to be common ground in those issues. You can still have fundamental differences in so many other areas, but those are the most immediate important issues where there has to be some sort of common ground. And I just want something like that accomplished. That's all I'm asking for.
Yeah, I agree with you and Jack. That there needs to be more compromises. That there shouldn't it shouldn't be one way or the highway. I think we can all. What Joe Biden's been saying, we need to all unite. We need to, even the people who were so one way during the previous 4 years that frustrated a lot of people. We need to unite with them as well and come to see why they're thinking the way they are and see if we can come to a compromise. I guess my immediate thing is just coronavirus. This shit needs to end. I think Biden wants 100 million vaccinations in his first 100 days, but I'm like, all right, cool, awesome. Let's get these people immune. Yeah, it's just crazy how long this has gone on now. That's what I'm just saying. It's like, do you got? I don't know. It's just like I'm just sick of the pandemic. That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, no, I think it's fair to say that I'm also sick of the pandemic. It is frustrating that things have gotten out of control to some extent, but
I mean, I'm tired of. Sorry.
no, go.
I'm tired of washing my groceries every time I have to bring them in with a diluted Clorox spray outside in the cold. I'm tired of having to shower 3 or 4 times a day every time I go out. I'm tired of not being able to sit inside in restaurants anymore. Yeah, I hate the pandemic for those reasons. But I'm also kind of like appreciative of what the pandemic has forced me to adapt to and what it's caused me to live my life. And, even though like a lot of people have suffered through the pandemic, others have kind of grown and kind of had some reflection as to who they were before it and taking that chance to kind of better themselves while in quarantine, and I consider myself to be one of those people. So I kind of have a love-hate relationship with the pandemic right now.
That's understandable. I'm kind of the same way too. I kind of, when the lockdowns happen, you have to reevaluate, seeing what's important, who is important in your life and stuff like that. It's just insane to me how the numbers were going down during the summer and then they ramped back up in the fall into the winter, and now we're just like at a constant 1,000 cases a day in New Jersey, and I'm just like, what the hell happened? Like, do you guys just think that way? Like, what the hell happened?
I'll tell you what happened. People got emboldened, thinking that if nothing happened in the summer, nothing would happen in the winter. They're all visiting family, but you're in enclosed spaces, you idiots. The air has nowhere else to go.
I also blame conspiracy theories about masks and stuff that have caused people to overreact the way that they have.
I agree. I think theories about coronavirus and even the rise of I don't want to talk about this organization because it just adds fuel to the fire. But the organization that's been in the news recently that does kind of accentuate these conspiracies and fuel people's desires to do it, it just creates chaos for any order that you're trying to establish, and it's fucking annoying. I wish I had more articulate things to say, but that's, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. I'm just fucking annoyed with the level of, I guess, how would I describe it? The level of ease that people go and believe certain things about the world. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sick of not being. You know what it is? I'm not sick of wearing masks. I'm sick of the threat or the concept of that seeing friends is putting them in danger, and that's what I want to. That's what I want to end. I don't, because like the masks or whatever. And I've said, I was ranting about it for a while, but I want to. The thing I want is to go back to a place where I can talk and see my friends in person and not be afraid that I'm going to kill them somehow because of a mainly. And you know what, maybe that's why people are so dismissive about it, is because we're talking about a thing that we can't see. And when you hear things like, well, you could have it but not have any symptoms, that makes you question like how real it could be. And you hear those stories of how people eventually fall to the concept of like they are oblivious to it, and then it's not until they get the coronavirus and actually have symptoms and they're in the hospital that they're like, oh, you know what, this is a real thing, and I don't like it. So
Yeah.
unless this was the type of disease where as soon as you got it, your eyes started bleeding. Like if it was that extreme, I feel like we would have figured out a cure to this thing a long time ago. Or people would have taken this more seriously a long time ago.
Yeah, and obviously our hearts go out to anyone who's been affected to all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the failure, and it's just a shame that the failure of not even just this country, but just the world to contain this thing. It really sucks that, the people in charge were, yeah. Obviously, you can't control everything, and, we can't save everybody, but it's like, I feel like we could have saved more people. And that the fact that it's lasted this long is a fucking disgrace. So, yeah.
Yep.
All right, then. So I guess,
Pivot change.
yes. So yeah, I hope Biden does a good job, and and hopefully the next 4 years aren't as
Tumultuous.
What?
Tumultuous.
It's as tumultuous as the previous 4 years. So good luck, man.
Confident president now, so we should be going along smooth. Well, a little smooth.
Okay, hold on. Just a warning to everyone here. Just because Biden is in office doesn't necessarily mean that everything is fixed and howdy doody and blue blah.
No. I'm just saying. Good luck, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like, hope for the best, but you can remember, just because a Democrat's in office doesn't mean you can't be just as critical. Okay,
yeah,
take everything, regardless of party, with a grain of salt.
Absolutely. So yeah. So on to sports.
Well,
So,
that actually.
so Juan, I gotta ask you. So we got all right. So the NFC championship game is the Bucks and the Packers, yes, Pedro's team. Mm-hmm. And then the AFC game is the Chiefs and the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
So, Juan, who is going to the Super Bowl? Who are the two teams we're going to be watching the first weekend in February?
Well, before I get to that, I do want to make a small announcement here. I'm not going to be able to come on to next week's podcast. I will watch the
Hurricane
movie.
Heist.
Yeah, the Hurricane Heist. I will watch it, but I'm not going to be able to come on to the podcast next week because I will be traveling down to Mobile, Alabama on Wednesday to cover the 2021 Reese's Senior Bowl.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I can't wait for you to come back on the podcast and tell me about your experience there.
Oh man, I can't wait.
I think we need a round of applause.
Yeah.
Our boys are grown up.
Yeah.
Boys doing grown up things.
Your boys. Well, I guess if you're saying that, then I'll have another. I wanted to wait until things were a little more official, but I have a job interview on Tuesday for a news producing job out in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and yeah.
Oh, okay. Another round of applause.
Would you be working there in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I would have to move to Wisconsin to do that.
Okay. All right. Good luck, man. Hope for the best.
Thanks, man. I'll keep y'all updated on how it goes.
with you so that they'll think you're one of them.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll wear maybe a yellow tie or something.
Oh yeah, dude, that's sick.
I know. But yeah, so I'm doing that, and I'll bring back a mini report on how everything went for the week after, and I'll if there's any cool stories, I'll tell you them. But anyway, back to NFL action. So with the NFC Championship, it's a really interesting case. It's a legendary quarterback battle. It's Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. It is old man Tom versus A-Rod. And the last time these two teams met, Rodgers was threw 2 interceptions, 1 return for a touchdown, and the Bucks scored 38 unanswered points in a blowout win in week 6. But the difference between then and now is, number one, Rodgers now has his full his top weapon in Devontae Adams back at 100% health. He was coming off of a hamstring injury when he came back in week 6 for that game. Number two, the Packers offense has just evolved over the course of the season into a top high scoring, take no shit from nobody kind of team. And they've established themselves as much. They've been on after that Colts game, they've been on I think a 7 to 8 game win streak. The Bucks, for all good that they are flawed in certain capacities. They were lucky to have played against a Drew Brees, a version of Drew Brees that wasn't able to throw the ball more than 20 yards down the field. Aaron Rodgers, you are going to be so screwed having to play against Aaron Rodgers, because he is the kind of guy that will throw better off platform than he does in the pocket. There's no possible way to get this man to be uncomfortable. Sure, you can send the pressure. And yes, this is going to be a game that's determined by who wins in the trenches. Will it be Green Bay's offensive line or the Bucs defensive line, or vice versa with regards to the situation? But ultimately, I'm going with the Packers to win here, because I just think there's a few more fundamental flaws on the Bucs defense than the Packers have. Yeah, what's up?
No, continue your thought. Continue.
Because for all the great that Tom Brady is, if you get just even an iota of pressure in the pocket, he will screw up. And there are some good pass rushers in Green Bay's defense. You got Darius Smith, you got Preston Smith, you got I forget, it's something Gray. He's a linebacker out of Michigan whose name I really forgot. You got Kenny Clark down the middle. You got some good front seven help, and then the secondary, it's unstoppable. You got a great 1-2 punch with Kevin King and Jair Alexander as your corners. It's just my concern down the middle of the defense when covering. The linebackers leave more to be desired, especially the middle linebackers. And Tom Brady is able to get people open down the middle. But I think the Packers defense can produce just enough pressure to knock Tom Brady around, suppress the rushing game that Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones will try to produce, and limit anything that that Mike Evans or Chris Godwin can try to do in the next level. And also, Antonio Brown has been ruled out for this game, so they're down a weapon.
Let me just counter that, and I know Pedro won't like to hear this at all when I say this, but the Packers have had some pretty damn good teams in the last 10 years, but they haven't sniffed one Super Bowl since that one in 2011. And I don't know, man. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are kind of choke artists the last 10 years. They lost to inferior teams in the playoffs. Like, how do you lose to the Giants in 20 a year later when they won the Super Bowl?
Oh my
how do you lose to the Falcons? How do you lose to the Seahawks? How do you lose to all them teams? The Rams. They got trashed by the Rams that year. Like, are you kidding me? Like, and the 49ers, the 40 freaking Niners. That Jimmy, you let Jimmy G go to a Super Bowl, like that's a sin right there, man.
God.
So I'm just saying, I don't count out Tom Brady, man. Betting against Tom Brady is kind of deadly. Like,
all right, so you have the Packers, I have the Bucks. Let's go round table a little bit. Pedro, you obviously have the Packers, right?
Obviously.
All right, Jack, you're kind of like the determining factor.
The Woo Sports guy. What do you think?
The Woo Sports guy? Can it be like a cooler thing than the Woo Sports guy?
You want to be the Whoop Whoop Sports guy?
What about Jack Woo?
Yeah, we'll put 2 whoops in there. The Whoop
Jack Woo Sports
guy. So sorry, what were my options?
Bucks or Packers?
Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have Tom Brady, but he's old.
Ooh. Yeah, but isn't what's his face old too?
Yeah, he's like late 30s though. Brady's in his 40s now.
I mean, did you get that? That's like comparing us, like you and me. That's not that different.
Yeah, it's pretty different.
I mean, they're both old men playing a sport that's probably gonna break them. I mean, I don't know. I'd have to. Oh God, I wish. I will say the Bucks have definitely been way better this year, and I feel like it has to deal with the fact that you know Tom Brady's there. And you know what? I will say this: a lot of people gave him flack in saying like, "Oh, now he's not going to be on the Patriots anymore. He's gonna suck." But you know what? He proved them wrong, so I give him that. I think
You also have the added benefit that if the Bucks make the Super Bowl, they'll be the first team ever to be in the Super Bowl in their home stadium.
now part of me wants them to win for that reason, because that would be really cool to see. Let's get some history in the books. But when's the last time Green Bay's had a chance at the spotlight? It's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm 50-50 on this game. This is kind of a trap game. This is the trap game of the weekend, I feel like.
This does really feel like a 50-50 split for me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The Green Bay Bucks. That's who I want to win.
Green Bay
Go-
Bucks.
You want
Go
you mean the Green Bay Packers?
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Green Bay Bucks.
Yeah.
Tom
All right,
Rogers
Juan.
is gonna throw a puck into the
Jack, that's so
goal for-
fair weather. That's so fair weather.
That's he's gonna take a basketball and he's gonna throw it into the soccer goal for a par 3. It's gonna be wonderful.
Jack, heads or tails?
Tails.
Wait, I didn't assign anything to it.
Okay. You want to try that again?
Yeah, so heads, Packers, tails, Bucks. Ready?
Okay. Heads.
All right, let's do this. Heads.
All right.
So you're going for the Packers. It's 3-1 Green Bay.
Sure.
Go, Pack, go!
I'm just saying, man. Don't come crying to me when Tom Brady goes to another Super Bowl.
All right, hold on a second. I have to assume the persona.
Rumble.
Oh, jeez! Yeah, jeez! Pack it up, boys. The Packers are.
I do want the Packers to win, but I've been so burned by them. I'm like, oh, Packers are going to the Super Bowl, man. Packers are going to the Super Bowl, and they always disappoint me. I've just been burned, man.
I will say,
You gotta have.
you want to put money on it, c.bo?
No, I don't like this game. Don't like it at all.
No.
So you don't want to parlay with the other one?
No, don't like it at all. Plus, the past 2 weekends have kind of burned me too.
I don't know how we pulled off Thanksgiving. It just happened, okay?
Not even that. It's just like the Browns were this close, but they became the Browns and then they lost.
Yeah.
All right, so give me your assessment on the AFC game, Juan.
It's Bills versus Chiefs. It's pretty simple. There's questionable reports as to whether or not Patrick Mahomes is going to play or not after he suffered that obvious concussion. I mean, his head didn't hit the ground,
It was the
but
whiplash.
it was a whiplash concussion, which I'd never seen before. But he just looked like he couldn't even concentrate on getting off the field. But the reports have been coming out, says he's doing well. He's been taking first team reps at practice and this and that. But Coach Andy Reid hasn't been 100% committed to having Patrick start for the AFC Championship, but it's looking like it's trending in that direction. Sammy Watkins and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 2 underrated weapons in the Chiefs offense, and it's really hard to find anything underrated in that offense because of how high-powered it is. They could be coming back against the Bills, and it could be at a good time. The Bills defense, for all the top secondary weapons that they have with Tre'Davious White, with Micah Hyde, with Jordan Pryor, I don't know if they have like the 100% capability to fight off this top receiver core. You got too many weapons to worry about. Mecole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Le'Veon Bell, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Tyreek Hill, and I haven't even mentioned Travis Kelce. Like, those are so many good speed and route running options that Patrick Mahomes will have at his disposal, or Chad Henne. Either one, I think, could get the job done effectively. On defense, on the other hand, it's going to be a tough pill to swallow to go up against a potential MVP candidate in Josh Allen and the Bills. Josh Allen has been on fire. He took a huge step forward when no one else thought he was able to do that. He's somehow perfected his mechanics. He's a much more accurate passer than he's ever been in his career, and he has so many good weapons to throw to. Cole Beasley in the slot, John Brown in second position, Stephon Diggs as a top receiver in this league. Not to mention that he's already shattered franchise records. Stephon Diggs as a wide receiver, and the running game isn't there. Zach Moss out for the rest of the postseason with a high ankle sprain, but don't ever underestimate Devin Singletary. I actually did an interview, a Throwback Thursday video about him, and I learned so much about his character and what he plays for that I have the confidence that he can carry this team as a rusher. On defense, the front seven leaves a little to be desired. I love Matt Milano as a linebacker, but he's not as speedy and versatile as you'd like a middle linebacker to be. The front seven doesn't have much of a pass rush going for it. The only saving grace is the secondary, but not enough to compete against the Chiefs. However, I said on my football podcast yesterday that I had two hot takes. The first take was that I think that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are going to throw for over 1,000 yards combined in this game.
Okay. That's understandable because they're both, yeah.
Yeah, and then also that Stephon Diggs would have at least 200 of them.
Damn. All right.
And then I said that I think the Bills are going to come out with the win, and I think it's going to be 38-34.
Ooh. So no State Farm Bowl?
Nope. And Pedro, I love you very much. But Buffalo all the way this time. I want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. I do.
All right, then. All right. Hot takes. I think if Mahomes is 100%, I think he's going to win. But if not, I think the Bills are going to win. What about you, Pedro? Who do you think is going to win this game?
I mean, the crutch of this game all depends on Patrick Mahomes and his condition after that massive hit. And honestly, I want the Bills to win.
Wow. Okay. This is
but for, other reasons.
What about you, Jack?
Well, I wasn't finished yet.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. But if Patrick comes back on the field, then it's a no-brainer that the Kansas City Chiefs will win. It all depends on the progression of Mahomes. If he stays out, I'm going for the Bills. If he comes back in, Chiefs.
All right. What about you, Jack?
I would also like the Bills to win.
All right. Cool.
It's pretty straightforward. I want to see a New York team win, and even if it's not the quote unquote New York team, like
a real,
it's still
New
gonna
York
win.
State team.
Yeah,
New York State team. All right, cool. This is the end of our podcast now. Thank you so much, Juan, for giving your assessment, and so let's see what happens how this weekend plays out.
I cleared my schedule for this. I grinded all this week on so many projects just to have Sunday open.
What about Dad's birthday?
That's on Monday.
All right. Guys, thank you so much for taking time to come speak about your hot takes on everything that's going on in the world. And, of course, next week we'll be back with Hurricane Heist. Yeah.
Some of us will be back with Hurricane Heist.
Juan will be back. He'll send me his recording of his thoughts.
I will.
Okay. So can I point that out too? You want to suggest the movie that we're gonna watch, and you're not even gonna be here.
Why do you hate me, Jack? Why do you hate me? Did you start Mandalorian
you hate
yet?
us?
Did you start Mandalorian yet?
No.
Then I can't start the last season of The Office until you start it.
Okay. Who loses here?
I think we all do.
Freaking Hurricane Heist. All right, let's rob this hurricane. Let's go.
All right, let's do it, guys.
We only have so much time until this hurricane
It's like
escapes
that
us.
crocodile movie. It's like the alligator movie, but worse.
What's
The
that?
alligator movie was good though.
What
Yeah,
alligator?
it's good. That's what I'm saying. It's
Are you
like
talking about
the
like Lake Placid with that huge crocodile?
Oh yes.
No, we're talking about that the hurricane alligator movie.
Yes,
Crawl.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Crawl.
come on. Would
I
you rather?
I thought you were talking about a sci-fi movie.
No. I'm talking about Crawl.
Oh, okay.
Crawl was awesome. That's a better hurricane movie than whatever this.
Well, we'll find out. Me, you, Juan, and Jack have not seen this movie, and we cannot jump to conclusions yet.
Fine.
All right,
I
guys.
can't wait for when it's Halloween again and we can watch scary movies again.
Yes, but this time we'll go hard on Juan. We went a little easy on Juan with the 2 Evil Deads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh. And this time, me being at work won't save you.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, what I meant to say is that remember you watched Evil Dead while I was at work, and I wasn't there to watch it.
Yeah.
I'll be there this time.
And how will that not save me? Your logic is not working here.
All right, guys. We'll be back next week.
Next week with a spooky movie. Ooh, I don't know.
Nah, not really. Later, guys.
You never see it coming. To be dinner and pass around. God,